What up, everyone? Welcome back to Financial Education and Business. Today we're going to be covering Google stock and how it's just been beaten up this entire year. They're going through so much hate right now. I mean, this is a company that has their own chips. They have their own autonomous robots, autonomous driving. They have AI. They have Google search. They have their own Gemini AI chatbot. Like, they have so much going on for them, but for some reason the stock market is hating on them, and I don't really understand. The argument really here is Google is gonna lose its ability, where it really makes most of its money is from search, and they think that search is gonna die and therefore is gonna kill Google, or Google should not be valued as much because it's gonna lose search due to all these AI capabilities. But that is such a bad way to think about it. I think its AI ability is going to make the ad part, where they make most of their money, even better, because they have so much more information about you. And so when you search for something, they're able to target whatever you search even that much better. So right now I think the market is kind of looking at it terribly. In this video, I'm just going to go over just some of the innovations that they have, how the market is looking at them, and how Google could be worth $500 in a couple of years, in 5 years. So let's go ahead and get started, and quickly let's look at the stock. This is a what right now sitting at what, $167 stock. 5 days ago, down 5, mainly due to some kind of lawsuit that's going on in Europe. Google is going through, it's a large company providing a whole bunch of services across the world, so of course it's going through some kind of lawsuit somewhere, right? So this is due to some lawsuit that's going on. Obviously Google is always speaking to Congress due to some kind of monopoly problem, right? Because Google owns so much that the government is trying to say, listen, you can't do this or that, because of their ability to service. Their strength right now is the only thing that's actually their threat that's keeping them down. So in the past month, down about what, 3.5%, a little bit over 3.5%. Last 6 months, they're still down about 15%. Year to date, they're down 12%, and that's crazy. And this is while a whole bunch of other stocks like Amazon, Microsoft, Nvidia, Facebook, or Meta have really exploded significantly, and this is the only stock that has just been held down a lot. And I think there's just serious potential here, and this company just has a great future, that at least I think, from all of the innovation that they have. So let's go ahead and just see what's going on, and let's watch some videos and we'll react.
Which is actually really strange, because for the users that are out there, I think Alphabet, Google actually is ahead in AI, and there's a lot to be unleashed. And part of it is also because the other Mag 7 have been really efficient. They've been going through and actually reducing the number of engineers, reducing their cost structure. Alphabet has the most to go. They actually have the biggest R&D teams, and they're actually ahead on AI. With every release of Gemini, we're actually seeing improvements that others can't catch up with. So we're actually not as dovish as on Google and Alphabet as other folks are, because what we're seeing is they're unlocking everything from chip at TPUs all the way to the agentic AI layer, and they're actually making a ton of progress.
So you don't worry about, I guess the knock on them is the regulatory risk for one, but also just this idea that as people adopt more ChatGPTs and Groks, it's going to take market share away from Google, which is the whole business, and advertising.
There is some of that that's going to happen, but ultimately we're going to see that battle play out, not just in the AI and advertising layer, but it's also in the recommendation engine piece, and also in the enterprise. And that's where Alphabet actually has an advantage through Google Cloud, and of course, some of the work that they've been doing on the industry level. So that's why we like that. But we are seeing definitely OpenAI make a lot of advancements, and especially in terms of adoption in the enterprise.
Yep, I totally agree. And as you saw, that they're kind of saying that the ChatGPT is going to take some market. It can, obviously, that's going to be one of the biggest competition. But ChatGPT came out. This is the thing with Google, is ChatGPT came out with the whole idea of like AI, and then they just released it to everybody. And then a couple days later, Google says, well, guess what, we have that too, and they just released it. Like, imagine all the other AI products that Google has right now, they just can't release it. Otherwise, the government is going to come knocking at their door, and they don't need that right now. So Google doesn't benefit from just going out there and promoting all the products that they have, like they are the best in the world. And if they do that, I think if they show their actual capability, they actually are going to be in more scrutiny, and then they're going to be stuck in litigations and lawsuits and being pulled into Congress and giving testimonies, and to where they can't even do business. So it's okay that Google kind of gives the new member in the market some opportunity so that they can catch up, and then Google can just stay one or two steps behind them and then continue to release new products. So I don't think it's a problem that you have companies like ChatGPT starting to take market. You need that competition so the government isn't knocking at your door all the time. So in this video, he kind of I like this video. I mean, I love this guy. He kind of covers how the value of Google could be worth $500 maybe in the next five years or so. So this is just a little snippet of that video.
Investing course below, and let's play here around with the best case scenario. Let's put 11 into earnings. Just keep it a 10% growth rate, which might even be 12%. And then put an AI, let's say 35, 30 valuation. And here you have it already. Present value is already at 400 for Google. And the likely terminal value in 10 years is 1,000. So that is a 5-6x in this higher valuation framework for Google, which means that would be very cheap. And here it's already close to intrinsic value for a good 6, 7, 8% return. So yes, it is very possible, and that is the positive upside risk for Google that has to be mentioned.
So he does his valuation here and says, listen, if Google grows, at 12%, let's just look at this, right? This is the first case scenario. This is obviously not the best case scenario. Let's say Google grows at 8% a year for the next 5 years. For the next 5 to 10 years, at 8%, that's a $321 stock. But is Google really going to only grow at that rate? I think it's going to grow even faster, especially with the AI adoption, with ChatGPT, with Gemini, and with VO3, with their Waymo, with all the other products. Like, especially within the next 5 to 10 years, if we have stuff like quantum computing, all that, I think Google is definitely going to grow even faster than 8% a year. So let's say Google grows, if it grows at about 10% for the next 5 to 10 years, you can have about $1,000 stock. And right now, if it's growing at 12% for the next 5 years, this is a $394 stock, and that should be the current value. If it's growing at 8%, it's right here is 131 shares, which is that's the intrinsic value right now. And this stock is literally trading at its current, almost at the current intrinsic value. And there's obviously so much more to the company, and the company should be valued way above this intrinsic value. So overall, like, Google is still underpriced. Next video. This video, so Google had Google I/O in this presentation. They just kind of covered like some of the cool products that they're releasing related to AI, and this is kind of to show off
best models into your hands and our products ASAP. I'm particularly excited about the rapid model progress. And today, Gemini 2.5 Pro sweeps the LM Arena leaderboard in all categories. It's getting a lot of love across the top coding platforms thanks to all of you.
Gemini 2.5 Pro is our most intelligent model ever. And now that it incorporates LearnLM, our family of models built with educational experts, 2.5 Pro is also the leading model for learning.
I got 2.5 Pro to code me a simple web app. Someone comes to you with a brilliant idea. I'm going to add in a prompt that asks 2.5 Pro to update my code based on the image. And here's what Gemini generates. Whoa. I was able to create this just based on a sketch. But what if it talked? That's where Gemini's native audio comes in.
That's a pangolin, and its scales are made of keratin, just like your fingernails.
Today, we're making 2.5 Pro even better by introducing a new mode we're calling Deep Think. Deep Think uses our latest cutting-edge research in thinking and reasoning, including parallel techniques.
We are in a new phase of the AI platform shift, where decades of research are becoming reality for people all over the world. Introducing Google Beam, a new AI-first video communications platform. Beam uses a new state-of-the-art video model to transform 2D video streams into a realistic 3D experience. Today, we are introducing this real-time speech translation directly in Google Meet.
It's nice to finally talk to you.
Es bueno hablarte finalmente. No puedo esperar a alquilar tu casa.
Our research prototype, Project Marine.
I just got to stop it and just speak on that a little bit. The one thing that the cool part about that whole language translation, imagine the economics that this can create for Google. Right now you have people around the world doing business, but they can't speak the same language. But now imagine that you can speak to somebody in China and Africa, whatever you want, and you guys can get on and kind of communicate, go back and forth like you're talking to another person, and you don't have to wait for any kind of translation or whatever, and you guys are just going back and forth. I think this is going to be big for Google, and this is where they're going to definitely find a lot of growth.
It's an agent that can interact with the web and get stuff done. We released it as an early research prototype in December, and we've made a lot of progress since. And we are starting to bring agentic capabilities to Chrome, Search, and the Gemini app. Let me show you what we are excited about. We call it agent mode. Say you want to find an apartment for you and 2 roommates in Austin. You've each got a budget of $1,200 a month. You want a washer dryer or at least a laundromat nearby. Using agent mode, the Gemini app goes to work behind the scenes. You might be familiar with our AI-powered smart reply features. Now imagine if those responses could sound like you. That's the idea behind personalized smart replies. With your permission, Gemini models can use relevant context across your Google apps in a way that is private, transparent, and fully under your control. Let's say my friend wrote to me looking for advice. He's taking a road trip to Utah, and he remembers I did this trip before. Gemini can do almost all the work for me. Looking up my notes in Drive, scanning past emails for reservations. Gemini matches my typical greetings from past emails, captures my tone, style, and favorite word choices, and then it automatically generates a reply.
Gemini Flash is our most efficient workhorse model. The new Flash is better in nearly every dimension, improving across key benchmarks for reasoning, code, and long context. Flash will be generally available in early June, with Pro soon after.
Gemini Diffusion is a state-of-the-art experimental text diffusion model that leverages this parallel generation to achieve extremely low latency. The version of Gemini Diffusion we're releasing today generates 5 times faster than our fastest model so far.
This is our ultimate vision for the Gemini app, to transform it into a universal AI assistant. In Project Astra, we've upgraded voice output to be more natural with native audio. We've improved memory and added computer control.
Google Search is bringing generative AI to more people than any other product in the world. In our biggest markets like the US and India, AI overviews are driving over 10% growth in the types of queries that show them. What's particularly exciting is that this growth increases over time. We are introducing an all-new AI mode. It's a total reimagining of search. With more advanced reasoning, you can ask AI mode longer and more complex queries.
We're excited to start rolling out AI mode for everyone in the US, starting today. Over time, we'll graduate many of AI mode's cutting-edge features and capabilities directly into the core search experience. That starts today as we bring the same models that power AI mode to power AI overviews. So you can bring your hardest questions right to the search box. AI mode is search transformed with Gemini 2.5 at its core.
It's like having my very own sports analyst right in Search. Search figured out that the best way to present this information is a graph, and it created it. Complex analysis and data visualization is coming this summer for sports and financial questions. Using your camera, Search can see what you see and give you helpful information as you go back and forth in real time. We're bringing Project Mariner's agentic capabilities into AI mode. Search can take work off my plate while still under my control. Search helps me skip a bunch of steps, linking me right to finish checking out. Tickets secured.
With AI mode, we are bringing a new level of intelligence to help you shop with Google. Search dynamically generates a browsable mosaic of images and some shoppable products personalized just for me. To create a try-on experience that works at scale, we need a deep understanding of the human body and how clothing looks on it. To do this, We built a custom image generation model specific.
So, as you can see there, Google is just developing so much right now. It's kind of insane, right? They're developing everything related to AI, but from here you can see there's so many ways that Google can win. Google's also going for this crazy goal, which is called VO3. VO3 lets individuals create videos, and also not just creating videos, it will create sound and the words associated with it relevant within the video that you have prompted the AI to generate, which is pretty awesome. So let's go to the next section here. This is VO3. This video, nothing in here you see is real. All of it's created with VO3, which is Google's AI video generator. And this is done so well, and you can just imagine what they're able to do this and the industries they're going to destroy by just having the ability to do something like this. Look, nothing here ever existed, does not exist. The characters, the sound, the people don't exist at all, but the AI was able to kind of put it together and create a video, a good 1-minute video that is just amazing. Look at how the physics, how everything is. Look at the dust coming off the car. Look at the people, their mouth, the recoil coming off of the AR. It's kind of really is amazing. So let's watch this video and you will see. After this, just imagine the industries, right? The Hollywood industry, cartoon movies, just there's so many industries, music videos that can be destroyed just because of this. And not only that, but think of marketing, all the different the amount of money that companies have to kind of chunk out for the business year, so they can use budget for the business year, so they can use it for marketing purposes and creating these elaborate videos. But now if you can just do it for $500, $400 on VO3, that's gonna save them so much money. And so let's watch this video.
When we get in there, I want no bullshit. You stay on my 6 at all times.
I just gotta say, look at, like, this is crazy. Look how the door opens. Look at the suspension on the car and the dust and how the car stops and kind of shakes a little bit, the light on the car. There's so much detail on this car, and doesn't even exist, and all of it's created with just prompt.
Stay sharp, these fuckers are nasty and dangerous. Stay alert. What the hell happened here? Where are the bodies?
And I just gotta say, also listen to just the sound, the ethereal sound. They show up, right? There's no music, and the music slowly builds up to create the tension, and all of that is just done, just automatically generated with this AI.
Stay sharp, these fuckers are nasty and dangerous. Stay alert. What the hell happened here? Where are the bodies?
That is going to put a lot of industries to shame, and that's where the Google is going to win. And we just got started with AI. Like, this thing started taking off in 2023, 22 a little bit, right? And so as time goes by, it's only going to get better. And what is the value of all that for Google going forward? So let's go to the next thing. So this is Google's, I'll just mute this and play it, but this is Gemini 2.0 robotics. So this is bringing AI to the physical world. Let's see if...
To general purpose robotic agents in the physical world. To be helpful, robots need to be interactive, responding live to your actions and your voice. They need to be dexterous to complete your most complex tasks. And they need to be general to understand things in your 3D world. And all of these capabilities need to work across different physical forms. We're bringing this together in Gemini Robotics, our most advanced vision language action model. Gemini Robotics is interactive.
Can you put the bananas in the clear container?
Notice how we move the objects and the model reacts and replans on the fly.
Can you put the grapes in the clear container?
Our model's low latency means it can respond live to rapidly changing conditions and instructions. This same model can generalize to all kinds of applications where you can collaborate with the robot live. Gemini Robotics is dexterous. High dexterity tasks are some of the biggest challenges in robotics.
I can fold the orange square into an origami fox.
That sounds fun. Why don't we try that?
Sure. Did you know that the word origami comes from the Japanese words ori, meaning to fold, and kami, meaning paper?
These capabilities are enabled by Gemini 2.0's spatial understanding of detailed aspects of things in your world.
I can point to where the eye should be drawn on the fox.
Most importantly, Gemini Robotics is general. It uses Gemini 2.0's world understanding to generalize across a vast range of real-world tasks.
Can you flip the red die so that it matches the number on the green die?
Many robots can execute predefined actions, but these movements are not predefined. The robot is reasoning both about what it sees and how to move. It figures out how to make the red die match just like we asked.
So the fact that they're working on robotics and not being left behind, and it just shows they're always keeping up with what's going on. In this video, we're gonna look at this. This is their obviously autonomous driving capabilities called Waymo. I'm sure you've either taken it, used it before.
Technology is just a show, so one can be forgiven for not being able to distinguish fact from fiction. Take this car, for example. Can it drive autonomously or not?
The short answer is absolutely.
That was Shweta Shrivastava, Senior Product Lead for Driving Behavior at Waymo.
What you're looking at is the Waymo driver in action. Adapted for a variety of vehicle platforms, it is the most advanced, fully autonomous driving technology in the world today.
What you notice pretty quickly is that these aren't normal vehicles. Take this Jaguar I-Pace, for example. It's been equipped with an elegant array of sensors and software, which allows it to move through the city on its own.
That's correct. The Waymo driver is a combination of custom-designed hardware and software that is responsible for performing the entire act of driving.
That was James Philbin. He's an engineering lead on the perception team at Waymo. I asked him to break down the technology for us a bit more.
The Waymo driver handles the task of driving in 3 basic steps: sense, solve, and go. It's the way we describe the highly complex process of acquiring information, processing it, and moving through the world safely.
So, what goes into all that sensing?
The sensors that the Waymo driver uses are incredibly powerful, using a combination of LiDAR, cameras, and radar. It can see up to 3 football fields in any direction and can detect sirens from emergency vehicles, which allows the Waymo driver to visualize the world around it in milliseconds to a high degree of accuracy.
Okay, sense makes sense. But what do you do with all that data?
Good question. The system calculates the predicted future behavior for each relevant agent in the scene. Then, with a strong foundation derived from artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms, the Waymo driver crunches all that data and calculates a safe route, while responding in real time to the evolving traffic environment.
If I understand correctly, this means the Waymo driver continues to learn as it goes, is trained and tested on scenarios that it's never seen before, and can differentiate safe and comfortable driving behaviors from hazardous and uncomfortable ones.
Yes, well done.
Why, thank you. The final step in the sense, solve, go methodology is perhaps the most straightforward. Go.
Once the Waymo driver has determined the path to take, our advanced motion control systems allow for smooth acceleration and braking on hilly streets, or managing bumper-to-bumper traffic with safe and natural driving movements.
So it's really here, right now in cities. Not smoke and mirrors, but true autonomous driving technology.
So as you can see, this is new. Obviously, there's Zoox and Tesla, and there's multiple other competitors out there. But in reality, there's right now really two companies. It's Waymo and it's Tesla the robo-taxis. And Tesla robotaxi is definitely going to eat up the market because of the volume, the number of cars that they have out there, and they look a lot slicker than the Waymos because the Waymos have these huge, sensors and cameras and everything else. But it seems like whatever Google does, Google just kind of goes the extra mile and is extra safe. So which is not a bad thing at all. At the end of the day, the less accidents, the less issues that you have, the better it is. But the most amazing part is that Google kind of takes its time and tries to solve the problem. One thing that I think Waymo does really well is it has both cameras and sensors and everything else, while Tesla may not have as many cameras aboard. And it's also widely known that some of these cars for the Waymo cars are really expensive, but that's a problem for now. But all these things are going to be solved in the long term as Google starts to gather more data and to see what is actually needed in order to have a good autonomous vehicle that can transport people just like an Uber. And recently, Waymo has done really well. They just partnered up with Uber in Atlanta so that people can now order a taxi ride in Atlanta, and it's gonna be able to take them, pick them up, and take them to where they need to go.
Let's kick things off with Tesla. Their full self-driving technology is still in beta testing, available to select drivers. But here's the catch. It's not fully autonomous yet. Tesla drivers still need to stay alert, keep their hands on the wheel, and be ready to take control at any...
Tesla just did release fully autonomous capabilities in Texas, but right now they have like an individual that kind of sits up front on the passenger side to just make sure like they can pull the car over just in case if something crazy happens.
Any moment. Tesla has been promising full autonomy for years, with the latest target around 2026 or 2027. But so far, still in development. Bold promises, but how much longer until we see it fully realized? Now let's talk about Waymo. While Tesla dominates headlines, Waymo's actually been offering fully autonomous rides. No driver needed since 2020. They're operating in Phoenix and parts of San Francisco with real passengers. That's level 4 autonomy, folks. Yep, no babysitting needed. The cars do all the driving. But here's the thing. It's limited to certain areas. Waymo's mapped and tested these regions thoroughly, so they're not everywhere. Yet. So, what's the difference in approach? Tesla relies heavily on software and cameras to figure out driving in real time, trying to make their cars smart enough to handle any situation, anywhere. Ambitious? Absolutely. But they're still working through tricky edge cases, like unpredictable pedestrians or unusual road conditions. Waymo, on the other hand, uses LiDAR, radar, and detailed maps to navigate safely, but they're sticking to specific geofenced areas. So while Waymo's robotaxis are fully autonomous now, they're limited in where they can go. All right, we've seen both sides, Tesla's vision for the future and Waymo's real-world autonomy. So, who do you think is the clear winner right now? Drop a comment below and let us know who's leading.
Well, there you have it. Waymo has cars out there already, and this is another major revenue driver for Google that we can see coming up. So these are all new industries that are going to grow significantly. So this is Waymo's co-CEO and on 10 million driverless ride on, and Tesla coming to robotaxi challenges.
Just put the scale of that milestone. Takitra, thank you so much for being with us at Google I/O. A huge milestone for Waymo to announce today, 10 million totally autonomously driven miles. Just put the scale of that milestone into perspective for our viewers.
So it's 10 million trips? I don't know.
10 million trips, sorry.
Yes. 10 million trips, which basically represents scale across Austin, Los Angeles, San Francisco, as well as Phoenix. And so we'd already announced that we were doing over 258,000 trips per week. And at the end of last year, we had hit 5 million trips. And now, only 5 months later, we're announcing 10 million trips.
It's like exponential growth, pretty much. And these are paid trips.
These
right?
are all paid trips, and they represent people who are really.
This is how they're gonna make their money. They're gonna keep expanding to new regions. They're gonna partner up with Uber and other companies to be able to provide this kind of service. I mean, this scale, the scale of this Waymo and autonomous driving is huge. 250 trips a week, and right now they're only like within a specific city, and I think it's only California, Texas, maybe New York. I think they're gonna keep growing more and more, a lot faster, and they're gonna expand. So this is where the value is for the company, and people are not seeing it. Like Waymo is gonna be huge. Obviously, you know, there may be hiccups here and there. It may get into an accident or whatever it might be, but these AI cars, autonomous driving cars, are a lot safer than a human driver right now. People fall asleep, people get tired, they get distracted. What the AI, they're robots. Like what? They just go charge and they just keep going until they have to recharge again. No distractions, and they get you from A to B.
Most start making money. How big can the business get by the end of this year? Is it profitable?
So we are super focused on building a sustainable business. And so profitability, of course, as well as costing down our entire tech stack is something that we're focused on. And so, yeah, we're proving out that it can be a profitable business.
When do you think you get there?
Not clear.
At this point in Google, from software to hardware, they're internally built, and this is going to allow them to link everything together and everything that they do into one Google umbrella. And so we're gonna quickly watch what is going on with these chips, and how this chips is as good as other ones out there.
Since 2013, Google has been pushing the boundaries of AI infrastructure.
A tensor processing unit to run deep neural networks.
You might want to think about changing our courses in your research.
Custom developed, application-specific integrated circuits. Tensor processing units continue to redefine the limits of what is possible. Today, we're introducing a new generation of TPUs, designed from the ground up to power the next wave of AI innovation, with power that fuels generative AI. Trillium TPU. Our 6th generation TPU is changing the game, delivering over 4x increase in training performance and almost 2x perf per dollar improvement over TPU v5e for compute-bound AI workloads. Trillium is the most price-performant TPU to date. With double the ICI bandwidth and HBM bandwidth, it offers unprecedented throughput over previous generations. We have also introduced the 3rd generation Sparse core, optimized for the most demanding embeddings workloads. The 4x increase in network bandwidth per Trillium chip enables connecting tens of thousands of these chips. Trillium continues our commitment to energy efficiency by delivering 14x more compute per watt of power than the 1st generation of TPUs. TPUs underpin Google DeepMind's cutting-edge foundational models, including Gemini, Imagen, and Gemma. Trillium is fully integrated with Google's AI hypercomputer, an end-to-end supercomputing architecture designed to harness the full potential of all of our AI accelerators. We're building the infrastructure for a new era of AI, where the impossible becomes routine.
There you go. And they have this AI linked to everything else that they do, which is pretty impressive to me. This is the All In podcast. Obviously, most people know who they are, and here in this video, they kind of are talking about who's gonna win this AI race, and some of the benefits that Google has.
5 years from now, we're sitting here on All In, episode 700.
Tesla's 1 and Google's 2, and the reason is because they are the closest to having that vertically integrated stack that I spoke about. I think that Tesla has the best vision models. Now with XAI, they'll have one of the best LLMs and reasoning models, and they'll be able to eventually stick that on Dojo. And then all of that will be in all of the physical AI that you will interact with in your daily life, whether it's a robot or whether it's a car or whether it's a robotaxi. So that's number one. And then number two, for many of the same reasons, I think Google. Because you'll have the Gemini family of models, which just absolutely kick ass, like VO3, which we haven't really spoke about, is going to destroy Hollywood. Like in the next year, like Hollywood is done, I think. But they're landing model after model. They have the TPU, and the next generation TPU, I think, is exceptional. They're baking quantum, and then they have an entire funnel of billions of people that they can direct experiences to. So Tesla 1, Google 2.
Chamath, quick follow-up on that. I'm curious on Google. This is because I oscillate a lot on this particular name. Can Google win if search declines?
Yes. And I think that what probably has to happen is, bear with me when I say this, but if you had to boil down Google's economic North Star metric, right? Not the value North Star, the economic North Star metric would be price per click. And I do think that Google is extremely well positioned to pivot that to price per token. And I think that they have some emergent classes of physical AI, but they have the largest pool of people where they can generate a price per token value framework through YouTube, through Gmail, through Workspace. I think through search, but probably it's a different kind of model. It just requires them to rip the Band-Aid off at some point. But yeah, I think that Google can do it.
I'm going to go with you, Chamath. I'm one. My 1 and 2 are either Google or Elon. And then I think Google is going to have a better search product, Thomas. I think it's a really important point. Did they lose search share? Doesn't matter. What I think matters is, are their ads more effective? Is their ad network more effective? And I think based on what they know on you from your chat searches and your discussions and what they analyze in your email, just analyzing your Gmail and your surfing behavior and Chrome, if they get to keep it, your Android phone, if you use it, your YouTube list, and when you drop off All In and when you start listening to another podcast, whatever it is, all that data is going to lead to an ad network that performs so much better that even if they lose search share, their ad network is going to continue to grow. And I think it will increase in velocity. So those are my top 2. Freeberg, I'm curious from your position, which one you think is number 1 and number 2? I saved you for last because you know what we do here? We save the best for last, Freeberg.
That's what I'm saying. They're literally gonna move money from here, which is their search revenue and ad revenue, to here, to their AI model. So I don't know if Google is actually going to lose all that money. Like, they're creating an opportunity. There's going to be opportunities for other AI companies to be able to, compete with it in this market, and then maybe the government might feel better. It might stop coming after Google. So I think over time, easily, that Google is going to just be moving money from their current search blue link revenue to this AI model revenue.
Kind of categorization would be, what's the portfolio solution? I think that's Google. I think that there's a diversification of high beta bets inside of Google, of any one of which could have, call it $1 trillion market cap outcome, ranging from Waymo to quantum computing to the biologics work that Demis is working on out of isomorphic. There's a number of things that do not get a lot of attention at Google. So yes, there's a core business that may be at risk, Thomas, but I think that there's a portfolio of options you get at Google, and you just need any one of them to hit to kind of make up for the loss. But I do think also Sundar, in my interview with him, which we put out a couple of weeks ago, is very thoughtful about where search evolves to. And he is being, I think, reasonably aggressive in trying to evolve the search product architecture to meet the market, to meet the consumer. I do give him credit for that. So Google would be in a good place for me as an overall kind of pick in that set of options.
So just to be clear, NVIDIA 1, Google 2, or NVIDIA Tesla?
Like I said, I think in terms of like having the right Sharpe ratio is how I would think about it. The alpha and the beta adjusted returns, I would put Google number 1. I would probably put Tesla. Tesla's valuation, I think, already has a premium associated with those options.
Sure,
so I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know if I would really pay that premium. I think.
Well, aside from the valuations, let's take valuations out of it. Just the game here is who wins the AI prize 5 years.
That's how I understood it as well. Yeah. So valuation irrelevant.
Valuation irrelevant. Who wins the AI prize? 1, you're saying Google. 2, you're saying Tesla.
I think Google's in such a position. I mean, look, Demis, I think, has been fairly coy about where they are. They obviously promote Gemini 2.5, but there's a lot still coming. And as Chamath pointed out, it's not just LLMs. There's a pretty sizable family of models, including a lot of these graph-based models that are being used in really novel applications that no one else is even close to, no one's spending time on. I mean, some of the weather forecasting, it might seem small and trivial, but it's a demonstration of Google's competency in core model development that shows an understanding and a depth of research and work that goes well beyond LLMs. So I'm pretty bullish on the depth of talent, the full stack.
Yeah, and whatever they learn there could apply to Gmail, could apply to search, could apply to ads, could apply to YouTube algorithms.
I totally agree with Freeberg that Google definitely has a whole bunch of little tucked in projects that are an easy $1 trillion business. I mean, he referenced quantum. That's if they can get that, and that actually becomes a thing. And helpful products in the industry, that's $1 trillion business. They can have the whole healthcare. I mean, imagine AI and healthcare. I mean, that is the next big breakthrough. If Google can find a way to implement so their healthcare within using AI, and they can actually come up with something that's really impressive, I think this is also a tucked in, trillion project. So Google even is working with quantum computers. Like, this is something that a lot of people don't really talk about, but this is something that they have on the roadmap, and they're obviously not gonna show what they have. They're probably gonna only talk about, oh well, we're working on quantum computers that can solve, you know, in 1 year what it will take a regular computer 5 years to solve, whatever. Or but Google Quantum is pretty impressive, and I know they kind of released this Willow chip a while back. Google's Quantum AI latest state-of-the-art quantum chip is a big step towards developing a large-scale error-correcting quantum computing. Obviously, you know, this isn't to build a quantum computer is not a simple thing, but obviously this industry is huge, and this is another trillion dollar business that's just tucked in. They're working on it. That's all I wanted to cover in this video. I'm just covering Google. And then if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be releasing more videos regarding companies that I'm interested in. Next time, I'm going to try to cover AMD. That's also another undervalued stock. And I'm also going to cover Amazon, because Amazon is something like Google. It has so much going on. They are the future of commerce. And so I'll end up covering those two companies. But for today, thank you so much for joining me. I will connect with you guys another time. Peace.